What's up? Great to see you again. And I am excited. Today we are going over ChatGPT for accelerating mindset development. Okay, so I'm going to get more tactical this time around. And so what you're going to see is I'm going to show you a few visuals and then we're going to just jump right into it. I'm going to bust open ChatGPT and walk you through step by step how to actuate this specifically for you and your team. All right. So super excited to share this with you. Let's get rolling without an ado. All right. So, does anybody know who this person is? It's Winston Churchill, right? And one of the things that he talks about is the ability to have success going from one failure to another with no loss of enthusiasm. And one of the things that I'm seeing is like, it's been a tough year for a lot of sales people and a lot of sales leaders because previous years, I should say, maybe not last year, but previous couple years, things are happening a lot easier than they are now. And so you've got to work significantly harder, do more, be better to get the same results. All right. And so there's a lot of folks that are mentally struggling with that. And what I want to show you is how to use generative AI to blow through that barrier with you and your team. And I think you'll be blown away with what we come up with here. So I'm going to walk you through this workflow really quick. What we're going to do is we're going to take basically 15 ideas from the best in the world on personal development. We're going to refine it based on our categories of need. We're going to create an implementation based on your top problem. And then we're going to create scripts and exercises. And I even have a bonus in there, like how to provide key concept book summaries for it. Okay. So think of it, we're going to take it really effectively from idea to execution within minutes. And I want you to be able to do the same thing. So without further ado, let me just tweak my screen here. I am going to pull up ChatGPT, share my screen again, and you will see it right here. Boom. Let me get it up. Okay, there we go. All right. So here we go. One of the things that you see in here is I'm using model 4.0. I know recently I went over some tips and tactics on how to set this up with your custom instructions and other areas. What I'm going to start with is this prompt, really. So what you'll see here is I identified I'm looking to boost my authority and credibility in mindset development. And I said, generate a list of 15 potentially viral content ideas. Okay, I know they're content ideas. The cool thing about this prompt is it's multifunctional. You could use it for learning and development. You could use it for content creation. There's a lot you could use it for. And then one of the things I identified in the prompt, and these are things that if you decided to work with me or you've taken some of my courses or things like that, I identify like the exact specifics on the outcomes I want. So I said brief summary, attention grabbing headline, 2 to 3 key talking points. And then basically it identifies that it should be related to my audience target pain points. Okay. Your prompt or your instruction does not need to be this detailed. If you can, that's fantastic. But like, remember, this is not a slash solution. We're talking to an alien here. Okay. So one of the things you'll see is then it populated, right? Oh, and the thing I forgot to tell you at the top, this is the most critical part. I said at the top says looking to boost my authority and credibility in the mindset development for business professionals. So mindset development, and then I identify business professionals. So basically I put that in place so that you had an understanding of like the niche area that I was targeting. Okay. So as you see what here, it populates some pretty great ideas. And what you're going to see is it does The Power of a Growth Mindset by Carol Dweck, 10,000 Hour Rule, Hedgehog Concept by Jim Collins, 80-20, I love that. The Golden Circle by Simon Sinek, Smart Goals, Law of Attraction. It's a little more woo-woo depending on who you are, but it's still valuable, right? The Power of Habit, Emotional Intelligence, 5 Dysfunctions, Blue Ocean Strategy, Theory X and Y, Innovator's Dilemma by Clayton Christensen, 4-Hour Work Week, and the Marshmallow Test. And then it even goes beyond what I asked it to. Okay. Now, because they gave me so many, I said, these are great. Now categorize them in 4 to 5 categories. And as you can see, I have typos in here. Like I told you, you don't need to be perfect. At the same time, you can click edit message whenever you need to if you want to go back and tweak it, and then it'll repopulate the results. So here's what I love. Since I asked it to categorize it, what it did is like ChatGPT or any of the other AI tools are masters at pattern recognition. And so what you're seeing here is it basically bucketed them into mindset and personal development. It also did leadership, goal setting and productivity, innovation. And then I'm like, all right, can you add grit and mindset? to mindset and personal development because I like that. And I thought it was very applicable to what we're talking about. So that was incorporated in there. And that's how you can make very simple edits fast, right? Now, what I did is I used the tactic that we talked about in the previous video where I highlighted it. If you did not see that, go back and watch it. And then I clicked on it, right? And then I drilled down. That's why it says mindset and personal development, growth mindset from Carol Dweck. Okay. And I said, hey, I want to upskill my sales team on the following 6 mindset and personal development concepts, cover each topic in our weekly sales meeting for about an hour. And I said, hey, this is what I want my training to be on. Like, that's all it is. A story, a parallel story, an exercise, a discussion guide. And then I said, all right, relax, take a deep breath and work through this step by step. That sounds weird, but that actually provides an uplift in results by about 15%. Okay. So what it did here, which was really cool, is it broke down growth mindset. It broke down grit. It broke down the 10,000 hour rule, law of attraction. And what you can see in here is I gave a story, a parallel story for sales. So like how it's relatable, like highly relevant. And then at the same time, I even gave a group exercise and questions and insights. So like this is basically setting up your team training for you over the next 6 weeks, all around mindset and personal development. And then what you can see here is it's got all these different capabilities to do this. And it goes through, so we have 6 weeks of this, all different concepts based on the area I highlighted. And then I said, all right, great start. Please rewrite each example, make the story 3 paragraphs, so they're more vivid and detailed. Okay, because the story was only about a paragraph long, so I didn't get as much. So like if I were running this for my sales team, one of the cool things you could do is like, all right, let's talk about the growth mindset. And so it gives basically 3 paragraphs on it. And then it gives, all right, here's a sales example. And so effectively you could train your team by leveraging that, versus the overall concept. Here's how it applies to sales. All right. And then you can say, all right, here's our group exercise. Right. And then here's our discussion guide afterwards. So you could break people off into cohorts, different groups, do that. You could just talk openly, right? And go through that. So basically this was all mapped out in a couple minutes, maybe about 5, because this was a longer ask of it with the 16. And as you can see, it did it not just for that one, but for each individual area. Okay. And now I'm going to go all the way to the bottom because this is a lot. Now, this is the bonus section. I said, based on the 80-20 principle, which is Pareto's principle, and you saw above, what 20% of concepts of each of the books were taken from above, right? So basically I'm asking, okay, you have the growth mindset concepts, the personal development. Now give me a 1 and 2 page summary of each book. All right. So that's what it did. I got a 1 or 2 page summary. I got the 5 key points, 5 examples, and 5 actionable ways. So now you have basically not only a training capability with that, at the same time, you also have a resource for each training. And it's even got links to like YouTube channels or talks, book summaries, toolkits, and other areas, right? So I built all this out, like I said, in less than 5 minutes for a 6-week personal development training program for my team and for you to execute for your team. And then at the same time, it's got basically stories. It's got stories that are related to sales. It's got questions, discussion items, and then it's even got follow-up action takeaways. And all you need to do is basically transfer that over to a Word doc or something else, and then boom, it's done. So just as fast as I went through this training is how fast you could deliver that training specifically, or I should say create that training for your team to really break through that mindset barrier that they have. And there's so many other use cases like this. This is just like the tip of the iceberg. But like I said, salespeople are struggling right now. Sales leaders are having a hard time. Everybody's busting their butt. And so I wanted to give this to you because I thought it would be of massive value. So feel free to let me know what you think on this. And I hope you enjoyed the video.